Welcome to Raider Talks. I am your host, Art Navarrete, here alongside Nick Ibarra. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button down below for Raider content all season long. Hopefully it's good content from here on out, Nick. We're going to do a Raiders top 10 power rankings heading into week 3 today, and Nick's going to kick it off.
Yeah, number 10 for me, Mac Hollins. Really breakout game for him. Was winning his matchups, and even on special teams had a couple big tackles. I think pinned him inside the 15 or 20, I believe, on a kickoff or a punt. And just really had some big catches, big games, kept the drives going in that first half. Mac Hollins had a day. He's number 10 on my list.
We're going to be mentioning a lot of these players having great games in the first half, aren't we? Number 10, Foster Moreau for me. I thought he had a pretty good game. And run blocking for Jacobs. Also, had a couple big catches in the game. Mm-hmm. Foster Moreau had a little breakout game, and I really love how these two tight ends complement each other with Waller and Foster Moreau. Always been high on Foster. Glad he had a great game. Glad he was able to crack my top 10.
And him just being alert on that play where Ruffle fumbled the first time
that was
and
the big,
getting it. And
that might be the play that got him in the top 10 was being alert. Knowing that this is the game right here, and he hustled his butt off, got to the ball, and he wanted it more than the Cardinals did.
And the crowd went completely crazy when he came out with the ball.
So Foster Moreau, number 10, great game by him.
Number 9 for me, Divine Diablo. I looked at the stat sheet when it was all said and done, and I didn't really realize that he was all over the field making tackles like crazy. Led the team in tackles, and then you go and look at highlights and everything, and he was pretty much in almost every play making the tackles, making stops. We thought that this was going to be a big year for him. And, you have a game like this to where you're leading the league in tackles and just almost in every play. It's well-deserved. Divine Diablo, my number 9.
My number 9 is Rocky Sin. Didn't hear too much from him, which is a good thing. Mm-hmm. A couple plays were made on him, little plays. But Rocky Sin had another good day, and I really like what I'm seeing out of this corner.
This corner and just this cornerback room, and we'll get into it more in the show. But Rocky Sin.
They're looking good. They're looking really good.
Yes.
Especially on the deep balls and medium deep balls. Last week what killed us was the quick slants and stuff like that. But I have faith in Patrick Graham that we're going to try to get that figured out. Whether it's a linebacker duty, corner duty, we'll figure that out. Like going back to what you said, the cornerback room, it seems like we always only had that one defender, and then after that, everything is just, the level just goes down. It feels good that we have a couple of defenders that can stop them and be good, and we also have one on the IR, so that cornerback room is looking really good right now. Yep.
Number 8 for me, Jonathan Abram. He's really coming into his own. I know we're 0-2, but he's had a couple really good games, and he's hitting hard. He's like Divine Diablo this week. He's almost in every play, making tackles. Coverage is still iffy, but you see the improvement, and Jonathan Abram's really coming to his own in his contract year. And I like what I'm seeing out of him so far.
Number 8 for me, Abram as well. I thought he was pretty good in coverage last game, actually.
Yeah.
There's a couple plays on the quick slants, but I think that's more of a scheme.
I think that's more scheme.
It's more
quickness.
Scheme, the scheme on defense, and figuring that out from a defensive coordinator's perspective.
Yeah.
Or, obviously, whoever has the dot. Obviously, it might have been Abram. Who has the dot on the linebacker? Maybe Diablo.
It's usually it was usually Perriman, but Perriman wasn't out.
Whoever has the dot there on the linebacker position, they need to figure it out along with the whole team. Obviously, they didn't get it figured out, but I thought Abram had a good game. Obviously, toward the end there, it seemed like they were going slants. I mean, we keep talking about it, but I think Abrams playing really good in coverage, especially in the first half. And then in the run game, I mean, he's the one of the best. in the run game,
and he's playing aggressive, but he's also playing smart too. He's not sitting there.
He's not the young Abram.
And just trying to take your head off, and just go after the ball instead of making the tackle. Like force fumble or whatever. He's actually playing smart football. They're lining him up well. They're doing what he does well, and he's turning into a pretty good safety.
Yeah, I like Abram a lot.
Number 7 for me, automatic Daniel Carlson. This guy is, like I keep on saying, automatic. You get him into that 55, and I'm gonna even go up a little bit more, maybe even 57 kind of range. It's automatic. It's automatic 3. The point afters. He's having a really good start to this season. And Daniel Carlson.
Yeah, my number 7 is Derek Carr. He's dropping for me every week. I think it's been disappointing so far. Derek Carr has been disappointing. I came in with a lot of high hopes for DC. I thought with Josh McDaniels and all this stuff, just all the offseason work, that I thought Derek Carr was going to come out and show out, but he hasn't done it so far. We'll see what happens against Tennessee. He could obviously, skip to number 2 or 1 on this list with a great game. He's the quarterback. He's the leader of this team. So we'll see how he does.
Yeah, for me, number 6 is Derek Carr. I just kept him the same. I thought he had a pretty good game. Could have been a little bit more aggressive in the second half. Made maybe a throw or two to seal this. But I think, I was hearing Devontae the other day. I think this whole team just needs to play better, and not just him. We're 0-2. He's had one bad game, one all right game. Not all the blame's on him, but I'm looking for a big game out of him this week to get this win tally going. Derek Carr, number 6 for me.
My number 6, Daniel Carlson. He's been automatic. He's been money, and I think people take for granted what it means to have a good kicker on your team. And we have a good kicker right now. I remember the days where we didn't have good kickers, where we went on the strain of 2 or 3 kickers that were very bad, not reliable, not even reliable on extra points. So I think it's a blessing we have Carlson, and enjoy it while we have it. I mean, he could be here for a while because he's a kicker. But don't take him for granted. He's number 6 on this list, and he's number 6 for a reason, because he's nailing kicks, and he's going to help us win a lot of football games.
And we just talked about it right before the show. I mean, his first 3 or 4 games was iffy. And we were talking about, why did we get this guy? And, he was all over SportsCenter when he was a Viking for the wrong reasons, for missing a 20, 25-yarder field goal or something. We get him. He kind of doesn't play good or whatever, but now it's automatic. He's looking like a Pro Bowler, an All-Pro at that position. And there's some really good kickers in this league, and he's kicking with the best of them. And it's a good feeling knowing that you don't have to get close for him to put up 3.
Yeah, Daniel Carlson. We can't say enough about this guy. Who's your next?
Number 5, Hobbs. I mean, this guy is becoming an elite corner. And, I'm going to say it every week. His story of not even knowing if he was going to make the squad last year, and now he's our number 1, going against their number 1s, in practices and everything. He always wants Adams. This guy's coming to his own, and he's just looking really good.
Yeah, number 5 for me, Nate Hobbs as well. He's been really good. He's been the next. I mean, we haven't had a great corner since Namdi Osmermal, right?
I mean, yeah.
And Charles Woodson. And this guy is becoming a really good corner, and you can see him starting to make plays more and more. They're not throwing his way a lot. When they do, he's all over guys.
And that's a good compliment.
That's a good compliment. It's a great compliment. But Nate Hobbs, I mean, this could be one of those guys that Max Crosby is up there for us on our list.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Hobbs can start sneaking up there to that top 3, top 4-ish range every week, because he's such an effective player.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just the presence that he brings. We talk about Max, and we'll get it, but, they double team him. They make sure they neutralize him. It's easy to neutralize a corner. You just don't throw that way.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that little by little. We saw that in week 1 a little bit. Then they threw his way. Couple pass breakups. I think he only allowed maybe a catch or 2. Same thing with the Cardinals. Maybe a catch or 2. I think a breakup. But, and then they throw it to him, and I think it was his flag, but it was picked off by him. So
late flag too. Really late flag.
And that could have been iffy, but anyway, he's coming into his own, and I think as the weeks go by, we're gonna have him higher and higher on our list, and he's really gonna put the league on notice.
Yeah, I love what I'm seeing from Nate Hobbs.
Number 4 for me, Josh Jacobs. You look at his stats and everything, you probably think, is he really having a great year? But you look at the way he's running and the situations that we've been put in, because I think he got taken out of the first game by how much we were down by, and it was just going to be a passing game. And this one, for some reason, they took him out of the game when we needed him the most. I think there's still a lot of yards and maybe some touchdowns that our system left out there for him. But the way he's running right now, is amazing. We saw him live, and there was one play where he was just juking people and bouncing around, and me and you and your dad were looking at each other like he's bad, you know, and you see it that he's running with a purpose now. Same thing with Abram. This is his contract year, and they're just getting better and better by week and looking good. And so hopefully we get into one of those games where they just give him the ball to put the game away or put the game in his hands, and we would be in very good hands.
Yeah, before I get to my number 4, I'm going to say Jonathan Abram, safety, but plays in the box a lot. That's what I meant to say. But number 4, Josh Jacobs as well. We had a lot of moments, oohs and ahs, because of Jacobs. I mean, he had that stadium going crazy a little bit. He was making plays. I don't know why we didn't give him the ball in the second half as much. I mean, he carried us. He kind of carried us in the first half, to be honest with you.
He was opening up a lot of things.
Yeah, he was opening up a lot of things. He's the reason why we got going so well in the first half. And I'm liking what I'm seeing from Jacobs. I mean, he's running hard, running strong. And this is the Jacobs that we've been wanting back since his rookie year.
Yeah, and I think...
And the last couple games last year.
I feel comfortable saying he is back. He is good. I think this is a player you don't look at his stat sheet or whatever, because he did get taken out of this ball game when we needed him the most against the Cardinals. In the first game, we put ourselves so much in a hole that...
We didn't allow him to steal a game.
Yeah.
But this week, Josh Jacobs versus Derrick Henry.
Yeah, and
we'll get more into that in the game preview.
Exactly.
But who's going to steal that game, Josh Jacobs or Derrick Henry? Because I think it's going to be one of the two.
And, Jacobs, is having a really good year just the way he's running with a purpose. And, I feel comfortable saying Josh Jacobs is back.
Yeah.
Number 3 for me, Darren Waller. You just see him getting more healthier and healthier and getting his body back. And it looked good. It felt good watching him, celebrate in the end zone, catching that touchdown, just going up for it and snagging it, and almost had another one. Darren Waller, he's just a beast, and I think he's starting to play a lot better. He, like I said, he's getting his body back, and it's just exciting what him and Carr can do going forward.
Yeah, same thing. Darren Waller, number 3. Not enough. I can't say enough about this guy. He's a guy that I've been kind of skeptical of end of last year, coming into this year, because he's been hurt a lot. He wasn't as effective at the end of the year last year. But for him to be playing like how he's playing, I'm glad he's able to not prove me wrong, because I knew he had the ability. I know he was going to do this.
Just play like he always does.
Play like he always does, and even more.
Yeah.
And Waller's playing some really good football. He's unstoppable.
Yeah.
He really is. I mean, no one can guard him. Linebacker can't guard. Linebacker's too slow to guard him.
Yeah.
A DB's too small to guard him. Safety's not going to guard him.
Yeah.
There's no one that can guard Waller, and he's pretty much unstoppable. So he's being that tight end, top 3, top 2 tight end that I think he really can be.
Yeah, and I think the main question with this is he going to stay healthy, and is he going to have issues with his contract or whatever? I think that was all fixed within the first, couple weeks, and and it turned out great. Now, we're looking for some good things out of this guy.
Yeah, number 3, Darren Waller, D-Wall.
Number 2 for me, dropped 1 spot, Davante Adams. 7 targets, 2 catches for 12 yards, 1 TD. Not all his fault. They neutralized him pretty good. Derek Carr did make some throws to him that were like, what are you doing? But had a touchdown.
He should have had 30 yards on that one throw. But
Davante's still playmaker. We didn't throw his way for some reasons, and some other people were open. We saw it great the first half, and he said it too. He says, all I care about is winning. I don't care if I have 1 catch or if I have 12 catches. All I care about is winning, and I think he gets back on track this week and has a monster game. But I dropped him 1 down because number 1, he had a hell of a game.
My number 2 is Davante Adams, and he dropped down for me 1. But that's not because anything happened. Yeah. It's not because of what happened in that game.
Yeah.
I guess a little bit. If Davante gets 100 yards and 2 touchdowns or something, he's going to be number 1. But the other guy had a hell of a game. But Davante Adams, I'm not putting the blame on him at all.
No.
For what happened. Personally, I think I think Derek Carr listened to the media and listened to all the people too much saying that he's force feeding the ball to Devontae in that first game. And Carr can't listen to those people. You need to throw him the ball. Even if, I like what we did in the first half.
Yeah.
But second half, give him the ball. I mean, he's the best wide receiver in football.
Especially with the game on the line, or you need some yards, you need some time.
Best receiver in football. Give him the ball. Let him make a play.
Yeah.
And Carr just needs to do that, and it's all good. That whatever happened last game is not going to happen again. He should have over 70 yards a game.
Yeah. I loved his touchdown play, though. That little,
that was easy money.
Yeah, there's a little screen to him. Boom, he's in.
I don't know why we didn't do that last play. Where we went with Renfro. Do it with Devontae. Devontae's bigger.
Yeah.
Devontae's faster.
And a little bit stronger.
Yeah. And he's holding on to that ball.
Yeah.
Renfro has not looked really in great. He doesn't look like he's in great shape. Kind of skinny. Lango the ball really quickly like when he gets hit. But Devontae Adams, nothing against him going down to 2. Like I said, he's going to have a better week next week. And I think the ball is going to be spread out evenly between everyone in a good way this week. Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Number 1 for me, Max Crosby. Without all the flags and everything, this guy should have had like 3 or 4 sacks Sunday. He was all over Kyler Murray. I think through 2 games, he has like 8 or 10 pressures, which is either the most or second most in the league. What this guy's doing is special. And, at times on defense, he was the only one playing and close to making a play. And he wanted it. If anybody on that defense wanted it the most, it was Max Crosby. He had 1 sack, couple QB hits. But what he's doing these first 2 games is unbelievable. The pressure he's getting, the QB hits that he's getting. I think he has 1 sack on the year. But like I said, if it wasn't for stupid penalties caused by our other players on defense, this guy could have had 3 or 4, and the game could have been over.
Max Crosby's my number 1. He's had a hell of a year. He's a defensive player of the year candidate in my eyes after the first 2 games. He looked great. Like you said, he could have 3 or 4, maybe even 5 sacks in that game if there's not a lot of flags. He only ended up with 1. But Crosby's been excellent so far, and it seems like this is a bad thing to say and a good thing. But the good thing is Max Crosby's great.
Yeah.
But it seems like he's the only guy on the defensive line right now for the Raiders.
Yeah.
That's the tough thing to say.
And, the other guy on the other end was supposed to open it up. They were both supposed to open it up for each other. But, but you look at what they're doing to Max, and they're like, okay, well, for Chandler, it's a little bit easier to get to the quarterback because they can't double both of you guys, or, they can't neutralize both of you guys. You got to pick one. And, it kind of sucks that we're getting really good production off of one end. And the other end, which we thought, this guy was going to do great. Chandler Jones, his first 2 weeks in his career, he's always getting sacks, always getting good tackles. And this is the first time in his career where he doesn't have a sack through 2 games. We need better production out of the other guy.
It's not even about the sacks.
No, it's not even. No,
it's about just get pressures.
Yes.
Make plays. Get tackles.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly.
Be effective in run stopping.
Yeah.
And Crosby's done all those things. Mm-hmm. And he has the sack.
Yeah.
And Chandler Jones hasn't done any of those things. And it's a little frustrating. It's a little frustrating, especially the hype. Not the hype for us. I liked him. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of Raider fans liked him. Some people thought he was a little too old, but I thought he was going to be way more effective than he has been the first 2 games. Mm-hmm. But, I'm not counting him out.
No.
It's
I think
it's still early in this year.
I think it can happen just like that.
It's still early in this year. He might come next game have 5 sacks.
And, who
knows?
I think we'll talk about this more, and I'll say it on our pregame. Last year against Tennessee, Chandler Jones did have 5 sacks against Tannehill.
Yeah.
So, we'll get into more of that next one. But Max Crosby right now is having a hell of a year. QB hits, pressures, and everything. And I'm just glad that he had a career year last year, and he's building on that this year.
Yeah. Number 1, Max Crosby. We'll see you guys for the game preview. Go Raiders.
Go Raiders.